My name is Terri MacPherson. I'm a lawyer with the province of Prince Edward Island. Well, I went to law school and graduated in 1992, and after I graduated from law school, I did some time in private practice working with a couple of private law firms. And then in 1996, I started working with the province of Prince Edward Island as a Crown prosecutor. I think what the public doesn't always see is the amount of work that's required behind the scenes. When you see television depictions of lawyers, you see the half an hour in the courtroom with the high drama, the asking questions, the challenging. What you don't see is the 90% of work that has to go on behind the scenes, where you're getting to know your evidence, you're aware of the case law. That doesn't get depicted in the general public, and that's the part that you need to be aware of before you decide that this is a career for you. Well, there really is not a typical day. That's one of the best things about practicing law. Every day is different. You're always dealing with different people, different fact situations, different issues. But as far as a typical day, I mean, you come to the office and you have a list of jobs that you want to try to get done by the end of the day, and oftentimes your day goes off in a different direction. So you really have to be prepared for anything and everything that comes up. You have no idea what's coming at you at any given day. So there's no time for boredom. You never get tired of doing what you're doing, because every time you start to feel tired of what you're doing, it goes in a different direction and you're thinking about and doing different things. Some of the hardest things, there are long hours. You really have to work hard at this type of work because of the level of preparation that you require to do your job. There's a lot of reading. You have to be current on the case law that's coming out from courts all across the country. Also, sometimes you're dealing with some tragic situations, especially if you're dealing in criminal files where you're dealing with situations where people have been harmed or they have lost their property. Also, I do some work in child protection, and those situations can be hard emotionally sometimes. So that's probably one of the biggest challenges. Well, the beauty of the practice of law is that there are so many different kinds of things that you can do with a law degree. So the level of opportunity just depends on what you're interested in. There are always private law firms that are looking to hire young lawyers coming out of law school. You could work with government, as I do. You could work with private corporations. There are a multitude of opportunities that are available to young people coming out of law school these days. Well, you need to have a law degree from a university, and in order to get into law school, you either have to have an undergraduate degree or I believe have taken 3 years in an undergraduate program. Also, in order to get into law school, you have to write an exam that's called the LSAT, which is like a standardized test to get you into law school. So once you've gone through law school, it's a 3-year program, you come out with a Bachelor of Laws degree. After that, you have to article for typically 1 year, and then after that, you're ready to practice law. Again, I think any kind of person could practice law. It's a matter of taking your personality and your traits, the traits that are strongest for you, and matching them up with a different area of practice. Because if you're somebody who likes to go to court, who likes to be in those high pressure situations where you have to think fast and be quick on your feet, there's opportunity for you to work in that type of a job where you're going to court as a lawyer. If you're not really interested in doing that, there are all kinds of job opportunities within the practice of law where you can have work that doesn't involve going to court, where you're giving legal opinions to your clients, you're helping them with transactions, you're helping them with agreements and that type of thing. So it really is it's an area of work that can match, I think, almost any personality trait depending on what you're looking for. Well, I think it's important to know yourself, know what your strengths are, know what you're most interested in pursuing. I would also advise you not to base your judgments and decisions on what you see on television. What you see on television, how lawyers are represented and the way that they do their work on television is not really an accurate representation of what you're actually going to be doing every day. So I would recommend, if you're interested in the area of practice where you go to court, go to court. It's a public arena. You can go and watch cases actually being tried. It'll give you a sense as to what type of work you're going to be doing. If you're interested in other areas, find a lawyer who practices in that area. Ask them for an opportunity to speak to them about what their typical day is like, so that you can know exactly what you're getting into before you go down that road.